Let me get a graph over here. All right, so these are new problems. Even if y'all finished up the school year last year in algebra, I don't know if y'all would have gotten to this. Y'all might have seen this last year, I guess, if you had Miss Carter. Just not sure. Yesterday we did a lot of lines, some stuff y'all are supposed to already know. This is going to be something different. We got a fraction now. Y'all got to know how to graph a fraction. All right, here's how you do it. Do we want to start with number one? Yeah, let's go into number one. All right, I want y'all to find what we call the vertical and the horizontal. Z-O-N-T-A-L. Is that written down for y'all? Asymptote. A-S-Y-M-P-T-O-T-E. You guys can just write V-A and H-A. A-S-Y-M-P-T-O-T-E. All right, so you got your vertical asymptotes and your horizontal asymptote. Again, y'all just write V-A and H-A. All right, and what that is, that's just going to be imaginary lines that we put on our graph, kind of like boundaries. I'm going to show y'all how to find those first. The VA is easy to find, very easy to find. All you do is take what's on the bottom, set it equal to 0. So guys, if we got x plus 1 equals 0, that's going to be x equals negative 1. That's not showing up. I'm going to have to get another color. Does everybody see how I got x equals negative 1 for our VA? Take what's on the bottom, set it equal to 0. When you move plus 1 over, it's negative 1, right?
Yep.
I need y'all to draw with your color. At negative 1, I need y'all to draw a dotted line. Why is it not working? There it is. Can y'all see that dotted line? Yeah. All right, everybody needs to draw a dotted line at negative 1.
Good.
Is that podium in your way, LeVar?
Oh, no.
I had to move it yesterday. All right, so that one's easy. That one's easy to find. All right, now the horizontal dotted line is a little bit harder to find. You guys notice that my exponents are the same on the top and the bottom. They both got a 1. Do y'all notice that?
Mm-hmm.
When they both have the same thing on top and bottom, LeVar, you take this number and divide it by this number. So what's my answer going to be? 1. Y equals 1. I need y'all to go to 1 on the y-axis and draw a dotted line. Maybe to show up. There it is. All right, so that's the hardest part on this one. Being able to find your VA and your HA.
Got it.
All right, next. Let me get me another color here. All right, now we're going to plot our points. So I'm going to make an XY chart, and I'm going to plug in 4 points. And how we find the 4 points every time is pretty easy. All right, everybody watching? Y'all have to look at your dotted line. And you got to plug in 2 numbers on the right side, which is going to be 0 and 1. I'm going to plug those in. And you got to plug in 2 numbers on the left side, which is negative 2 and negative 3. All right, somebody's probably got a question. If you do, it's fine. Does everybody understand where I'm getting those 4 numbers from? All right, it's going to change every problem, Jason. You're not going to plug in the same 4 numbers every time. On this problem, find your vertical line, plug in 2 numbers on the right, which is 0 and 1. 2 numbers on the left, which is negative 2 and negative 3. 2 on the right, 2 on the left. Hey, and the closest 2 on the right and the closest 2 on the left. You don't want to plug in something down here because your answer might be like 35. We can't go up 35 spaces. You want to get it as close to that dotted line as you can. Good? All right, and now we just plug them in. And when you plug them in, guys, you can use your calculator. I'm going to grab a calculator real quick. All right, so we're going to plug it in. Lexi, I'm going to plug the 0 in for x. That'll give me a 0 on top. 0 plus 1 is 1 on the bottom. Put that in your calculator, see what you get. 0 divided by 1 is, first answer, 0. All right. Next, I'm going to plug in 1. So if I plug in 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom, what's 1 plus 1? 2. I get 1/2. So I'm just going to put 0.5. 1/2, 0.5, same thing. Again, y'all can plug the whole thing in your calculator. You don't have to do it in your head. Next, plug in -2. All right, so I'll get -2 on top, and on the bottom is -2 plus 1. Yeah, if you want to plug that whole thing in, make sure to hit your fraction button first. Y'all remember where the fraction button is? Hit alpha X, it brings up your fraction, and then you can just plug it in. So I got -2 on top over -2 plus 1. What you got? +2. All right, so everybody plug in the last one, see what you get. -3 on top, -3 plus 1 is. Make it a decimal.
How do you make it a decimal?
Good question. All right, how do we make it a decimal, Tyler says. All right, so what do you have in your calculator right now, Tyler? 3/2? All right, if you want to know how to change it and make it a decimal, here's what you do. Y'all hit alpha Y. What comes up? A box, right? What does number 4 say on that box? F to D, fraction to decimal. If you'll hit 4, Tyler, and then hit equals, I think it does it. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so 1.5. There might be a faster way, and if y'all find it, show me.
I think that might be the faster way. Because I remember the other way where you go through the menu. Like
Yeah, you don't want to hit math and go through the menu. That takes too long.
So that's actually, I think that's the
Okay.
faster way.
All right, so now, guys, all we have to do to finish it up is graph these 4 points.
It's not even gonna.
All right, so look, I got 0, 0 right in the middle. How do I go over 1 up a half? How do I do that? Over 1, how do I go up a half? Halfway between 0 and 1, right here. What in the world is that? Why did it do that? All right, next I got -2 up 2. -2 up 2 is right here. And then I got -3 up 1.5. So I go -3 up 1.5 right here. So why is it doing that?
Is there a button on
Coach, we don't know.
Marley knows. He's figuring this out for me. Every time I was drawing a dot, it's bringing that up. All right, so for you to graph this, guys, it's very easy. You make your curves. Watch. Curves stay close to the dotted lines on both sides, okay? That's why you got your dotted lines. And that's what it looks like anytime you have a fraction for a problem. That's what your graph's going to look like. And we're going to get a lot faster. That's just the first one that we've seen. All right, anybody have a question? Okay. All right, we're going to go to the next screen then. And we're going to do another one just like number 1. So, guys, let's skip down and let's do... Okay, let me find one. Let's do... Let's do number 4. Let's go to 4. Number 4, y equals 4x minus 4 over 2x plus 2. All right, you gotta find the VA and the HA. Now y'all can do that while I'm drawing my graph. Look back and see how we did it on number 1. You do it the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so somebody help me. How do we find the answer for the VA, or how did we do it a minute ago?
Set the bottom equal to 0.
Whatever's on the bottom, set it equal to 0. Now y'all solve for x. All right, do it. What happens to +2 when I move it over? And what's my answer? X equals -1. All right, so what do I do for -1? How does that help me? I go to -1, and that's where my dotted line goes. Come on. All right, that's where your dotted line goes at -1. You guys can make those dotted lines with your colors. That would work out pretty good. Reg, you got a form? You got a slip? You set it up there and I'll fix it. You go, Reg, you need a worksheet. You need a color pencil. You need a ruler. There's your sheet. All right, y'all ready? All right, so we know how to find the VA. How do we find the HA? Remember, if these exponents are the same and they're both 1, right? What do? You divide that number divided by that number. What's that going to give me? Y equals 2. That's where your other dotted line goes. So Y equals 2. All right, we got some harder stuff today, Weston. We're going to challenge you a little bit today.
We dots are the same color or different?
Oh, I don't care what color y'all put your dotted lines. Just use a color for your dotted lines because those are really invisible lines. It's just boundaries for us not to cross when we draw a curve. Anybody got a question so far? All right, so now we have to, let me get my white again. All right, now we have to pick our 4 numbers to plug in. How did we pick those numbers, Jason, on the last problem? You remember?
You go to the 2 closest.
Yep. 2 closest on the right, 2 closest on the left. So what are we going to pick on the right? 0 and 1. What are we going to pick on the left? Same ones as last time. Yeah. -2 and -3. All right. And we're going to plug in these numbers in our calculator. Just use your calculator and it's going to give you the answers.
The top one or the bottom?
All right. Weston, we're on number 4. So Weston, I'm going to plug in 0 here and here. So it's going to be 4 times 0 minus 4 on top. The bottom, 2 times 0 plus 2. And y'all do as much in your head as you can. All right, I'm just going to plug the whole thing in the calculator and see what it gives me.
Oh, so you write it as a fraction? Alright.
On top, 0 to the bottom. Somebody give me an answer for the first one.
-2.
I got -2. If you don't get -2 on the first one, I'll come check your calculator. Again, if you can do it in your head, do it in your head. Lexi? All right, so I'll plug 0 right here, Lexi. I'll plug in 4 times 0 minus 4 on top. And the bottom will be 2 times 0 plus 2. Yeah, and Lexi, you can do it in your head or you can plug the whole thing in your calculator. Don't matter. Yeah, we got -2 for the first one. All right. Now we got to plug in 1. So it'll be 4 times 1 minus 4 on top. 2 times 1 plus 2 on bottom. Plug it in, see what you get. Y'all got what? 0? All right, I'll trust y'all. I had to plug it in. Everybody get 0? All right, y'all plug in the next one, -2. 4 times -2 minus 4 on top. I messed that up. Let's start over. All right, I just learned you got to hit your fraction button first. 4 times -2 minus 4 over 2 times -2 plus 2. What'd y'all get? I got +6 on my calculator. All right, last plug in -3. You don't even have to write it down, just plug it in. Fraction button first. All right, when somebody gets an answer, give it to me. 4. All right, so we're going to graph these 4, and it should make your curves. You draw your curves, and you're done. Now, Weston, if you lost, you can watch us on the next one. You'll be able to catch on. All right, so I go over 0, down 2. There's my first point. I go over 1, up 0. There's my second point. -2, up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right here. -3, up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got a curve on that side, and I got a curve on this side.
I got your first one. Did you just graph the?
All right, go ahead, ask me.
The 2? Did you just graph the 4x?
I went over 0, down 2 for my
I'm
first.
saying, how did you graph the first 2 lines? Did you just?
Oh, the red lines?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show you on the next problem. It's easy. Just copy this. You got to find those first. All right, Josh, y'all didn't do these last year, right?
I think you did a little bit.
I don't think y'all did this in geometry in 10th grade, so if you did this, it would have been last year.
We did like defining the vertical and
Asymptotes.
Like, we didn't work much on the graphing these.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more on the front like this problem before we do a different type. So it should start getting easier. We've done a couple. We're going to do number 5 now. 5 is just like number 1 and number 4. All right, before we do something else, we'll do 5. All right, everybody good? I'm going to another page. If I can figure out how to do it. So, I'll go here. There we go. All right, so number 5. We got y equals 5 over x plus 3. I need you guys to find your VA and your HA while I'm drawing my graph. Hey, this one's different on the HA. It's got something different.
You said when they the same on HA, you divide. So what do you do when they're different?
That's what I got to show you. All right, Weston, this is how we found the red lines I had a minute ago. V stands for vertical. We're going to find the one that goes like this. It's easy. All you do is take the bottom, set it equal to 0. So that'd be x equals -3. When you move positive 3 over, it's -3. All right, so my first red line is going to be at -3. Everybody's good on that one. And that's the same on every problem. All right, Weston, I'm going to go back and show you how we did the last one. All right, on the last one, to find the horizontal, here's what you do. If the exponents are the same, I got a 1 and a 1. If they're the same, you just divide these numbers. We did 4 divided by 2 and got 2. All right, but this problem is different because the exponents aren't the same, are they? I got a 1 on the bottom, guys. We don't even have an exponent on the top. When that happens, it's automatically y equals 0. Y equals 0, automatically. If you got an x on the bottom and not the tops, go to 0. So my red line this time is going to be at 0 right through here. But everything else is the same as it was on the other problems. Yep. All right, so who's asking? All right, Jason, you understood how we found this one?
Yeah.
Okay, because the exponents were the same, so I divided. All right. When the exponents are not the same, like on this one, when you got an x on the bottom and you don't have an x on the top, it's automatically y equals 0. Okay? All right, last step. We got to plug in our 4 points, and everybody except Weston should know how to do that.
I think I got it.
All right, Weston, how do I pick my 4 numbers to plug in? It's easy. Let me show you. You see your dotted line, your vertical line?
Yeah, you just hit the
2 numbers on the right, it's going to be -1, -2. 2 numbers on the left is going to be -4, -5. And that's how you always plug them in. Pick 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and go with it. All right, so now use your calculator, plug them in right here, and find the 4 answers and graph it. So yeah, it's getting easy. We're going to plug -1 in first. Y'all hit your fraction button. 5 on top. All right, remember, make it a decimal.
how you make it a decimal?
All right. All right, what you got on your calculator right now? 502? All right, hit alpha Y. And a box comes up, it's number 4. Number 4 is F to D. Hit 4 and it should make it. All right, what'd y'all get for the first answer? 2.5 is what I got. If I need to come show you that on your calculator, I will. Tyler, we good?
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all find the next answer. 5 on top, -2 plus 3 on bottom. Make it a decimal. All right, this time I got 5. I didn't get a decimal. All right, y'all find the other answers. All right, now equals. Hit equals now. Equals. Yeah. There you go.
So you said when the x's don't have the same.
If the x is on the bottom and you don't have an x on top, Peter, it's automatically y equals 0. And I'm not going to give y'all one if you got an x on top and not the bottom. Because if we do that, it's a whole nother can of worms. And we're not getting into that. We're just going to do
Number
it.
6, the x on top has a 2.
All right, 6 is probably a completely different problem. Okay, so we'll look at that in a minute. All right, what'd y'all get when y'all plugged in -4? I haven't done it.
-2.5.
-2.5. What'd y'all get when you plugged in -5?
Oh wait, no. That's how I got. I thought you said 5.
-4. You get
No,
All right, hang on, let me go back.
-5, and then
Okay.
yeah, the next one.
All right, so 5 is -2.5, and what'd y'all say for -4?
Negative
Okay.
5, yeah.
All right, and then y'all graph those forward, it should make a curve.
Nice one, Kyle.
So -1 up 2.5 is right there. -2 up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right here. Man, that's weird. All right, and that makes the curve through here. All right, -4 down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right there. -5 down 2.5 is right here. All right, so Weston, the reason we got these dotted lines up here because your curves, when you graph them, can never cross the dotted lines. That's why we put the dotted lines up. All right, so we did 3 problems this morning, all the same type problem. Anybody got a question? Now we're going to do an easier type. I think that's the hardest one. All right, is everybody good on 5? All right, let's do number 3. 3's different. All right, I got to show y'all something before we do number 3. Let's go to a new screen. Y'all just watch me do this. If we had x squared minus 4, and I wanted y'all to factor that out, does anybody remember from last year how to factor that out? All right, 4 is a perfect square, right? What's the square root of 4? So that'd be x plus 2x minus 2. How about this one? X squared minus 25. How do I factor it out? X plus 5x minus 5. It doesn't matter if the plus goes first or the minus goes first. Let's do one more. What if we had x squared minus 121? How do I factor it out? X plus 11, x minus 11. That's called a difference of squares. Y'all been doing that since 9th grade. Everybody should be good on that. All right, now let me show you something else. Well, here, let's just do this problem first. Let me do the whole thing. Let's see.
So that would be your answer?
So, here's the deal. Since the top is x squared minus 36, since we can factor this one out, guys, we got to factor it out. So how would we factor that one out up top? X plus 6, x minus 6, and mark that one out. All right, do that. So we weren't able to do that on any of the other problems. This is the only one. All right, now here's the deal. If you can factor out something on the top, then you got to do this problem a completely different way from all the other ones. Okay? So, does everybody see how I can cross out the x plus 6s? All right, what's the only thing that's left over? Y equals x minus 6. Now, what I want y'all to do with that is graph that by rise over run, just like we did yesterday. So, where do I go to start my graph? -6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what's my rise over run? Up 1 over 1. 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 All right, we don't have to worry about solid or dotted. Let's just draw a line through it. You guys have a straight edge, draw a line through it. Now we got to add one more thing on this problem and we'll be done. All right, everybody good so far? Anybody got a question about graphing that line? All right, here's the deal. Where you mark something out, let's go red. We marked out x plus 6. Everybody agree? X plus 6 equals 0. If I move plus 6 over, what does it become? So here's the deal. Since we marked this out, it's going to make a hole on our line. So I got to go to -6 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have gave us a different problem. Wow. there's going to be a hole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Follow it down. There's going to be a hole right there. And the line runs through the hole like that. So yours might be on your graph. Mine wasn't on my graph. That's my fault. So you might have to go below your graph. But you're going to have to show me the hole for whatever you marked out. Okay, ask.
You mean go
Like when it
down?
touches, when it touches negative
All right, look how far I had to go down.
when the line gets to -6.
All right, you got to go to -6 on the x-axis, Weston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Follow it down to wherever it hits the line. Mine hit way down here. That's where my hole went. So I had to show you guys that.
Yeah.
My bad, I said it wrong a minute ago.
Hey, mine was about down there.
So mine's way down off the graph. I'll try to make it in the future where it's on the graph. That I think it'll help if it's on the graph. Yeah, you got to draw a circle for the hole.
It's because,
So when I look at your problem, if you don't have the circle, I got to mark off some points.
it's because it can never be -6 on the x-axis. The line.
That's right, because you marked it out. That's right. All right, so we're going to do another one like this. Now, most people think these are easier than the other ones. This is a little shorter. All right, that was 3. We got one more like that. How much time we got for a break? About 5 minutes. The other one like that is number 6. Let's go to number 6. Same kind of problem. All right, number 6.